StraiGhtAllDay.com.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put this all together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, systems, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is I'm going to break down one of the dumbest, stupidest criticisms that people throw out at other people when they disagree with them. The criticism is, quote, "This person just wants attention." I'm going to deal with that criticism and tell you why, if you have ever used this, you're not going to use it anymore after you hear today's masterclass. And if anyone ever uses this on you, you can laugh at them, and I'll tell you how to respond to them in a moment. But before we get into all of that, let me tell you about it. I have a daily motivation text message that I send out for free. Yes, free 99 every single day to everyone who is in my text community. If you would like to receive this message that is guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point, I will send it to you every single day, free of charge, to you and everyone else who is in my texting community. All you had to do to get it is raise your hand by doing the following. Send a text to the number that I'll be texting you from, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning, starting tomorrow morning, when I send out the daily motivation text, you'll get it free of charge straight to your mobile device. Now, here's the second thing. If you have not yet claimed your free copy of my book called The Third Day, The Decision That Separates the Pros from the Amateurs, this book is all about how you show up and give your best effort when you least feel like it, and how we make a process out of doing this. This is not a motivational book. This is not a hype up book. This is not a how do you get yourself excited when you don't feel like working. It's how do you create a process so that you can show up and give your best effort every day, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Yes, there is a way to do this. Yes, it can be done. And yes, I will show you how to do it. And here's another yes. I'll give you the book for free. All you got to do is go to thirddaybook.com. The book is free. All you're going to do is cover the shipping. Go to thirddaybook.com and I will ship you a physical copy of that book to your doorstep. If you're watching this on video, you look over my right shoulder. You see all those books right there behind me? That's The Third Day. I will send you one of those books in the mail to your doorstep. Now, here's the third thing. If you are a business professional who is serious about increasing the revenue in your business, making more money, yet you have not yet figured out how to do it without having to get 10 times smarter or work 10 times harder, I'm here to give you some good news. You don't have to work 10 times harder. You do not have to be 10 times smarter to increase the revenue in your business. All you need to do is get more structured and processed and systematized in your business. I've created a system. It is literally called the Work on Your Game system that helps you do this. I will show you how to do it in a free training. It's 45 minutes long, so set aside that much time. That's the only investment I'm going to ask you for. Watch that training at workonyourgame.net. At the end of the training, there is a link that will come up that will offer you an opportunity to get on a call with me if you're interested in learning how to apply this stuff directly in your business. You don't have to take that, but if you're interested, there will be a time when you can schedule a call to get on with me. Get on a live call with me and talk about how we implement this into your business. That is, again, at workonyourgame.net. Now, with all of that said, let's get into today's topic, which is, again, the stupidest criticism that people throw out there, which is this person just wants attention. All right, someone offered this critique. I'm telling you where this came from. Someone offered this critique in the comments, actually, in a video that I posted where I was talking about Mr. Kanye West, and the shitstorm of criticism that Kanye pulled onto himself in the fall of 2022. It happened probably about, as you are listening to this, probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago, when Kanye created this whole wave of conversation when he came out with a shirt that said White Lives Matter. Then he went and dissed Black Lives Matter. Then he went and said some things about George Floyd. Then he went and said some things about Jewish people. And there was all this attention coming at him. People were coming at him for many different reasons. But I saw some people say, and I made a video where I was talking about some of the things that Kanye had said at first. This is before I wrote my article. I then wrote an article about the whole Kanye situation in mid to late October 2022. If you didn't see that article, it was on my Facebook page, it's on my Substack, and I also sent it out via email. All of you should be getting my emails. If you're not getting my emails, go to workonyourgame.net. No, excuse me. Go to workonmygame.com and you can get on my email list. You'll get those emails. And if you want to just see that direct article, just send me a text message and ask me for the link to the article. I will send it to you directly. Or send me a DM on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. I'll send you a link to the article in case you didn't see it. But anyway, when Kanye came out with this, some people said, oh, well, he's just trolling. He's just trying to get attention. Now, was Kanye trolling? Possibly. Was he trying to get attention? Probably. He probably was trying to get attention. So it was in responding to that person that I thought of what I'm going to talk about here today. This whole thing of that person is just trying to get attention is one of the most common criticisms that people throw out there when someone who is well known, or even a person who is not well known, makes a statement or takes some kind of action that the critic disagrees with. So what I'm going to do today is dismantle this. I'm going to dismantle this criticism, and I'm going to help you understand why this is the dumbest criticism you could ever offer of another person. And if you're a person who is apt to using this criticism, by the end of today's masterclass, you will extinguish this from your vocabulary and you will never use this as a criticism of another person ever again. And you're going to understand why today. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, is the dumbest criticism is this person just wants attention. Number one. Whether we are talking about Kanye West or some other famous person who you like and agree with, or someone that you disagree with, or someone in between, or you're talking about somebody like me, or even someone who has you have no familiar with, or they don't have any kind of brand or notoriety, I want you to understand something. Every single one of us is in the business of attention. You are in the attention business. I am in the attention business. Attention is one of the 5 forms of investment, which I discussed in episode 609. Time, money, attention, energy, and focus. You must get people's attention if you want to do any kind of business. I've talked about attention probably 15 times or more on this very show. In episode 1920, I talked about how to turn attention into revenue. Episode 1850, 3 strategies to cut through the fat and get attention. Episode 1760, a 4-part framework for promoting your stuff and getting attention. Episode 1511, the art of drawing attention. Episode number 1272, learning to pay attention. Episode number 848, how to lengthen your attention span. Episode 802, how to pay less attention to what other people are doing. Episode number 795, focus versus attention, understand the difference. Episode 587, getting the right kind of attention. Episode 444, attention is the new money. Here's how to get it and keep it. I'm not even going to list all the rest of these because there are so many of them. I'll give you one more. Episode 212, 3 principles of getting and creating attention. Understand, you cannot get somebody's money if you don't have their attention, unless you're running some kind of scam that'll probably get you, incarcerated. But to get somebody's money, you got to have their attention. Can we agree? Have you ever gotten money out of somebody without having their attention? Again, legally, I don't think so. So trying to get attention, everybody, is what we're supposed to be doing on a regular basis. So if you are criticizing somebody by saying that they're just trying to get attention as if they're doing something wrong, is one of the stupidest things that you could possibly say if you actually think about it. Kanye West, Beyonce, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Dre Baldwin, we are all in the business of getting attention. And you, fill in the blank with your name. So if you criticize a person by saying they're just trying to get attention, then that should tell you a lot about how your business is going and how much you understand about business. Getting attention is what you are supposed to do. If you are not trying to get attention, like Kanye West apparently was, according to some people, if you're not trying to get attention, what are you doing? Who are you selling your stuff to if you're not trying to get attention? Who's going to watch your videos or listen to your podcasts or read your articles if you're not trying to get attention? Getting attention is what you're supposed to do. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is that the stupidest criticism that you will no longer use is this person is just trying to get attention. Number 2, all of us, every single one of us, is in the attention business. If you did not know that you were in the attention business, now you know. All right, so that problem is solved. So now you can be conscious and intentional about getting attention, which means you should be trying to get attention the same way that Kanye West tries to get attention. I'm not saying you have to do the same things that he did. I'm saying you should be thinking about, how do I go get attention? How can I do something that's going to make people stop what they're doing and stop talking about that and them, and instead talk about this and me? That's a question you should be asking yourself. That's a really good question to ask, as a matter of fact. How do I get people to talk about me instead of talking about him or her or them or that? That's a really, really good question. Because when you ask that question, you're going to come up with some ideas. Because the human brain is the most powerful tool known to man. So when you give it a job by asking it a provocative question, it usually will come up with some answers if you continue to ask the question with the expectation of getting an answer. You want me to tell you some people who are really good at asking this question and they're really good at executing on it? I just told you their names. Kanye West, he's one. Beyonce's another. Barack Obama's another. Donald Trump's another. Steve Jobs was another. Excuse me. Elon Musk, he's another. Jeff Bezos, he's another one. Tim Cook, who runs Apple now, he's another one. Drake, the singer, he's another one. Taylor Swift, she's another one. How do I know that these people are really good at getting attention? Because all of you know who they are, even if you don't consume their material. That's how I know they're good at getting attention. And I know that they ask themselves this question: how can I get attention? When you have something to say, something to sell, or a cause that you want people to know about, your number one, number two, and number three jobs are getting attention. Because if you are not actively trying to get attention, but you have something that you want other people to know about, do, or understand, and you're not trying to get attention, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to be ignored? I mean, you're either trying to get attention or you're trying to be ignored. Which one are you trying to do? Now, there are times in life when there is a time in life to be quiet and not draw attention to yourself. That's not all the time. Many times, you need to do things that will draw attention to you. All right, when it comes to attention versus being quiet and not drawing attention to yourself, let me explain it this way. It works the same way that when people talk about confidence and humility, that yes, there is a balance between being confident and being humble. The challenge is so many people have been socialized to focus on being humble and focus on humility and not put yourself out there that much, or not think too highly of yourself, or not talk yourself up that much, that many people in society, I would say a good 98% of people, err on the side of caution when it comes to confidence versus humility, which means you are trying to be too humble instead of being more confident and brash and brazen and audacious and putting yourself out there. And therefore, what happens with most people is they're driving through life with their emergency brake engaged because they're worried about being, quote unquote, too confident. Too much confidence is not your problem. I did a whole TED talk on that exact topic. You can watch that talk by going to dreallday.com/TED, TED. dreallday.com/TED. Also workonyourgame.com/TED. Lead you to the same page. So the way that you need to look at drawing attention versus falling back and not drawing too much attention to yourself, look at it the same way that I just described confidence versus humility. Yes, it is good to be humble, but that ain't your problem. All right, your problem is not you're too confident. All right, how many of you have ever had a problem of being too confident? Who here has ever gotten fired from a job because you were too confident? How many of you ever didn't sell a product? You made a great presentation, but the person you were selling to said, you know what? I love your product, Johnny or Jane or Joe or Susie or Mike, but you know what? You're just so confident that I'm not interested. How many of you ever was about to get hired for a job, but they say, you know what? You're too confident. You can't work here. You're going to make everybody else uncomfortable. How many of you ever were having a conversation with someone that you were trying to date, or maybe you were on a first date with someone and they said, no, I like you and everything checks out and you look good and all of that stuff, and you probably be a good father or mother to my children, but you're a little bit too confident, so you know what, I'm gonna pass on you. How many of you has ever had that happen? Nobody. So your issue is not being too confident. And when it comes to attention, just swap in confidence for attention. Is the exact swapping attention for confidence, and swap in not drawing attention for humility is the exact same thing. Many of you are overcorrecting for the wrong problem. How many times have I said here on the show that it's not the right answers to the wrong question that you need, it's answers period to a better question. You need a better quality question, which is how can I draw more attention to what I'm doing? Not how can I fade into the background so that I'm not drawing attention too much so that nobody will criticize me for trying to draw attention. If someone criticizes you for trying to draw attention, let me tell you what you probably have done. You probably have successfully drew attention. All right, that's why they notice it and that's why they're criticizing you. Because they wouldn't know that you were trying to draw attention if you didn't get theirs. See, everybody, do you notice that? Do you ever think about it that way? See, this is one of the things that I want to help you all understand. That socially, there are these criticisms that people start to throw out, not because there's anything inherently wrong with whatever the person is criticizing. It's because those people who are throwing the criticism out, they couldn't see themselves doing what they see that person doing. So when someone criticizes you for being too confident, which we usually don't call too confident, what we call it is arrogant or cocky, it's not that you're actually arrogant or cocky, because arrogance and cockiness are relative terms. It's that you are confident at a level that that person can never be confident. So they have to put a negative label on it because otherwise they couldn't understand it. It's the same thing when it comes to drawing attention. Like, I wasn't mad at Kanye for putting out what he put out and drawing attention to himself, because I understand Kanye West is in the business of Kanye West. He's in the Kanye West business. And the Kanye West business cannot make any sales if Kanye West doesn't draw attention to Kanye West. And swap his name out. All right, forget about Kanye West. Swap in your favorite entertainer, your favorite politician, your favorite actor or actress, your favorite athlete, your favorite celebrity. Guess what? Your favorite author, your favorite speaker, your favorite podcaster. Guess what? They are all in the attention business of fill in the blank with their name. J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author, guess what business she's in? She's in the J.K. Rowling business. Donald Trump's in the Donald Trump business. Barack Obama is in the Barack Obama business. Oprah is in the Oprah business. Every single one of them is in the business of drawing attention to themselves, because otherwise their business would not make any money. Again, name one time you made money from somebody without having their attention first. You can't. It doesn't happen. So we are all in the attention business. If you're trying to be ignored, what are you doing? You're trying to slip through and not be noticed? Again, there are times to do that, but it ain't as much as most people are doing it. So none of you, I'm going to venture to guess, I will go out on a limb and say this: nobody who's listening to my voice right now has the problem of drawing too much attention to yourself. None of you have that problem. So if you think that's your problem, that ain't your problem. And if you think it would be a problem, I just do too much attention. Let me just stop drawing attention to myself. You know what? I have too many people noticing me. Too many people know my name. I'm making too much money. You know, that's the problem. If you ever have that problem, call me. I will help you out with that issue. All right. I'll tell you exactly where to send the money. None of you have the problem of drawing too much attention. So when I put out episodes of this show, what am I doing? I'm trying to get attention. I want people to know that this show is out. I want people to know that I have a show called Work on Your Game. It comes out every single day, where I'm going to talk about these mindset and business and strategy tools, and I'm going to keep it real with you, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be listened to 2 million times this year. I'm going to keep telling you that over and over and over again. When I tell you that I send out daily motivation text, what do I want? I want you to text me so you get in my text community. When I tell you that I have a book that I give you for free, what do I want? I want you to go get the book so I can send you the book, so you can be a reader who has read one of my books. And because I know the value of that book is going to make you want to get more stuff from me. I'm in the attention business. When I tell you to have a free 45-minute training, it's going to help you understand how to increase the revenue in your business. What am I doing? I'm trying to get your attention. I want to have your attention for 45 minutes to watch that training. That's the business that I'm in. When I have a new course or a new book to sell, which I will in the future, guess what I need in order to sell that course or that book? Attention. When I post a picture on Instagram, what do I want? Attention. I want people to see it, and that's why I'm putting it out. Just because you disagree with the person, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that they're trying to get attention doesn't make them wrong. They should be trying to get attention. Even if you disagree with what they're trying to draw attention to, they're not wrong for trying to get the attention. Otherwise, nobody would know what they had to say. If someone you agree with puts out a message and they broadcast it to the world, do you criticize them by saying they're trying to get attention? Of course not. You applaud them and even help them get more attention by sharing their message, don't you? So don't say this stupid shit anymore that somebody's just trying to get attention as if there's something inherently wrong with trying to get attention. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is the dumbest criticism that people throw out is that this person is just trying to get attention. The reason why this criticism has become a mainstream critique is because many people out there, I just spoke on this point, simply don't have the confidence in themselves to actually want to intentionally draw attention to themselves. This is why people criticize a Kanye, for example, and we're just using him as an example here, but you can swap in your favorite famous person or the famous person you hate the most. Doesn't matter. People criticize people who are good at getting attention, not because they're mad at the person for trying to get attention. It's simply because the criticizer, the critic, doesn't have the confidence to actually draw attention to their own selves. So when they see somebody else doing it, instead of just saying, damn, I wish I had the confidence to do that. I wish I had something to actually draw attention to that could get attention the way this person does. Instead of saying that, which would be honest, what they do instead is criticize you and make it seem like it's a negative thing or a bad thing that you're trying to draw attention, as if that's not the only way to generate business or to generate attention or to get people's focus and energy. To get somebody's energy, focus, or money, you must draw attention. To get their time, you got to draw attention. So one thing you should notice about the 5 forms of investment is each one of them, when you use it, you draw the other 4. See, if you use money, you can buy time, energy, attention, and focus. When you are able to draw people's attention, you get their focus, their time, their energy, and their money. You see how that works? Listen to episode 609 for my explanation of the 5 forms of investment if you have not yet done so. And also, in one of my past issues, my Bulletproof Bulletin, which is the monthly magazine I send out for free to everyone who is a member of my Work on Your Game University. There's an issue where I wrote about the 5 forms of investment, and I send those back issues out. When someone joins, usually I send a couple back issues. If you want that one, once you join the university, just remind me, and I will send you that particular. I'll make sure I send you that one along with a few others, so you can catch up. But that's one of the 5 forms of investment is attention, folks. So anybody who's criticizing a person for drawing attention, the reason that you're doing it, consciously or unconsciously, is because you're seeing someone do something that you can't see yourself doing. You don't have the self-belief to do. It's not that you can't do it, it's just you don't have the self-belief to do it. So in my book, Work on Your Game, I talked about how your level of confidence causes other people to call you cocky or arrogant, which I explained a few minutes ago. Again, it's not because there's anything wrong with being confident. It's just because your confidence is at a level that that person cannot understand, so they have to make it negative instead of saying, hey, let me catch up. So that people have 2 choices when they see you doing something that they haven't done yet. They can either do the work to catch up to you, or they can criticize you so that doing the work to catch up to you is a bad thing, because they don't want to do that thing. It's a bad thing. See, they label it negative so that they don't have to do it. It gives them an excuse to not have to do the work. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? Read my book, Work on Your Game. If you don't have it, you can get it by going to workonyourgamebook.com. Or you could join Work on Your Game University. You join Work on Your Game University, I'll let the cat out the bag. I'll send you a copy of the book. Or you can go buy the book if you want at workonyourgamebook.com. Every product that you have ever purchased in your life, every event that you have ever attended, everywhere you have ever spent money, something was done to get your attention in order for that to happen. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. There are probably some services right now, some products and services that you would buy right now today, but you have not yet bought them simply because those products and services have not yet done a sufficient job of getting your attention. Like there's something right now that I would buy that if I knew about it, I would buy it. But I don't know about it, so I can't buy it. They don't have my attention. I could pay for it, but they don't have my attention. So as soon as they get my attention, they'll make a sale. There are some things that I have for sale right now that if I got the attention of certain individuals right now, this very moment, they would buy it from me. So because I have failed to get those people's attention, I'm not able to get their money. So my job every single day at Work on Your Game Incorporated is to get the attention of the people who will give me their money in exchange for my goods and services. My job to get their attention. And every moment I spend not having their attention is a moment I spend not having their money. And it's a moment they spend not getting the value in the goods and the services that they need. This is the business that we are all in. Everybody's in this business. If you didn't know, now you know. So there are people out there who could benefit from this very show, the Work on Your Game Masterclass, which I sometimes refer to as a podcast because it's easier for people to understand what I'm talking about. But this is not a podcast, this is a masterclass. There are people who will benefit from this show, but are not listening to it, have never heard of it, have never listened to a single episode, don't even know who I am, simply because they don't know that the show exists. Which means I need to do a better job of getting those people's attention. That's my job. It's not their job to find me, it's my job to find them. There are books that I need to sell, courses I want people in, calls that I want people to sign up for, all that have not happened yet because I haven't done the job of getting people's attention. We are all in the attention business. This is what I talked about in episode 1835, the 3 marketing strategies. What advertising does allow you to get as much attention from as many people as you want, as long as you're willing to pay for it. Collaborations allow you to get attention of people who already paying attention to someone who you know, and you collaborate with them to get attention of the people that they know. They get attention of people that you know, and everybody wins. And content, like this episode right here, this show is content. You put content out, the more of it you put out, the more hooks you're putting in the water, the more chances somebody's going to bite, and now they're in your world and paying attention to what you do. Many of you found me through random content, either content or an advertisement or a collaboration. Almost all of you found me through one of those 3 things. You either listened to some content I put out, listened or saw or read some content I put out for free, you heard me on someone else's platform, or you saw an advertisement that I was running. All of those are forms of attention. I'm always doing all 3 of those things. Why? Because I'm in the attention business, folks. So if any of you didn't know, Now you know. Let's recap today's class, which is dumbest criticism people throw out there is that this person is just trying to get attention, as if there's something wrong with that. Kanye West is the latest person that I've seen labeled with this, but a lot of people try to get attention, which they should, which is why we know their names. Point number one. But you're talking about some famous person that you like or a famous person who you don't like, understand that everybody is in the attention business. Your favorite actors, actresses, entertainers, rappers, singers, politicians are all in the attention business. If they didn't get attention, you wouldn't know their names anyway. Point number two. All of us, every single one of us is in the attention business. If you did not know that's the business you're in, you do now, and you need to start acting like it. When you have something to say or something to sell or a cause you want people to know about, what do you need to do? You need to get people's attention. When I put out this show, I'm trying to get people's attention. When someone who you don't like is doing something to get attention, you may not like what they're saying or what they drew attention to, but there's nothing wrong with them trying to get attention. Otherwise, nobody would know what they were doing. If your favorite person, athlete, entertainer, politician, rapper, singer, if they did something that you liked and they drew attention to that, you'd be happy. So it's not the fact they're trying to draw attention, it's what they're drawing attention to that you may like or dislike, which is fine. That's not the topic here today. We all have to get attention. Number three, the reason why this criticism has become mainstream is because, again, many people, this is like the sour grapes conundrum. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm not willing to do what it takes to do the same thing that this person is doing, instead people find a way to criticize it and make it seem negative when that's not even the case. I talked about this in my book, Working Your Game, when it comes to confidence. People rather label your confidence as a negative thing, like cocky or arrogant, instead of just saying, you know what, I don't have that person's confidence. What can I do to get there? Instead of doing the work to catch up to you, people put a negative label on you so that they can feel better about themselves. You need to start noticing this when people are criticizing you. Often they're criticizing something that they simply aren't willing to do the work to get to, or that they simply do not understand. Not because there's anything actually wrong with what you are doing. So even me, this show, my books, my courses, my programs, it is my job to get people's attention, because otherwise there's no way I'll be able to get people in them, or people reading them, or people watching them, or listening to them. Every single one of us is in the attention business. And if you didn't know you were in that business, you need to get in the attention business, because you can't get anybody's time, money, energy, or focus until you have their attention. All that said, text me to get my daily motivation message straight to your phone every single day. My number is 305-384-6894. And go to workonyourgame.net, get access to my free training. I'm going to get your attention to that. I need 45 minutes of your attention for that training, where I'm going to explain to you the 5 steps to increasing your revenue in your business without becoming 10 times smarter or working 10 times harder, how you can 10x your revenue. It is doable. All you have to do is follow a process and a system for doing it. I'm a systems and process guy. I can teach you that. Give me 45 minutes to prove it. That's at workonyourgame.net. Work on your game. Dre all day.